Okay, so for times and locations, on Thursday morning at 10:30, our plan was to start filming the scene between Poppy and Sophia in the Nexus Art Cafe in Manchester City Centre. However, it doesn't open until 11 and we didn't want to waste valuable time when we could have been filming something else, so we decided to film the alleyway scene of Layla. Then at 11, when the cafe was open, we filmed the two shot of Poppy and Sophia at the table. Once we'd finished that, we had a break, and then at 12 we went to film the establishing shot outside Manchester University and a shot of Layla walking away. Afterwards, at 1 p.m, we went to a high street in Manchester City Centre where we filmed a scene with Coco and Sophia looking for Layla, and then Coco ringing the police to report Layla's missing. And the next day, on Friday, at 10 o'clock, we filmed the counselling scene with Layla.
The costumes we used in our trailer, we thought about each character individually and tried to devise like a deeper meaning for each character. So for Layla, the protagonist, we made her have like quite an unusual taste in clothing, but she kept quite dark, reserved colours with like drab clothing and messy hair, minimal makeup to connote her like post-traumatic stress disorder. I can't even say that word. Jacob, which is like the lad of the group, he's likes to be the centre of attention, so he wears quite fashionable and well-known brands. He's more laid-back look than Liam, the other character, so he'll be in like hoodies and jeans and trainers, but they'll all be of like high brand. So Liam is similar to Jacob, receives a lot of female attention, so again he is big on fashionable brands. But he likes to more, he's got quite a like more of like an indie kind of side to him. He like buttoned up shirts with jeans and trainers instead of trackies and whatnot. Coco, the aspiring fashion student, is a typical Topshop girl. So she wears quite vibrant, unique clothing and stands out as having a high profile look. We like the idea of having her in like an oversized jacket and like boots or something like that. Okay. So Poppy and Sophia, we like the idea of them as they're in like the same kind of social group. We put them in similar costumes to each other. This is to connote the fact that when Sophia is deceiving Poppy, it makes it more dramatic and more noticeable. So Poppy's more kind of like girl next door look, and she's the innocent one in this story. So Sophia is kind of like the opposite. She dresses more provocatively on nights out with skirts and like low cut tops, which links to the story as to how she deceived Poppy by cheating on Poppy's boyfriend.
Okay, so when we first wrote the proposal, we didn't have enough background information about the character of Layla, so it wasn't as gritty at first. Like at first it was kind of more like a typical melodrama, but it didn't have as much as like British realism. So we decided to add more British realism to it, and we thought the best way to develop the character of Layla was to kind of add to a past and write that down, so we knew how the character would be feeling at specific times throughout the trailer. So we kind of decided that over the summer, Layla was a victim of sexual abuse, but the court case fell through, so she's suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. We looked into post-traumatic stress disorder and we saw that one of the symptoms was having flashbacks. So we thought that we could put that into the trailer at some point, even though that probably isn't a typical trailer convention. But we analysed clips from the OC, which is another teen melodrama in America. So we kind of tried to take elements of that but put it into like a British context to add more realism and make it more gritty. So Layla isolates herself from all her friends because obviously like depression can be linked to post-traumatic stress disorder, and then she still goes to university despite this happening to her because she wants to kind of have a fresh start and rediscover her identity. But we filmed one part in the trailer is a night on the first night of freshers, when the character of Jacob comes on to Layla in quite a forceful way. So Layla runs away, and obviously at the end that's when the final shot of Layla, which we kind of took inspiration from a shot in the OC of Marissa passed out in an alleyway. So we developed that character, and obviously, as Alice was saying before, we kind of put that into her clothes and stuff just to show her past. So we had to take out some parts of the proposal in the trailer that we wouldn't be able to film, or that we didn't think would be as easy to film, because trailers are quite like snappy, so we wanted kind of it to flow more rather than it to be too like long, and we didn't really want to do as many long takes. So in the scene when we were going to have Sophia finds out that she's pregnant from Poppy's current boyfriend, who's Liam, when they're, instead of doing that in the cafe scene, we decided that we were just going to have a phone where Liam sends as Poppy's speaking, like confiding in Sophia and telling her that she thinks Liam's cheating on her, then Sophia receives a text that says "I miss you" from Liam. So it's just to kind of link the stories together rather than being too obvious. So it's quite like bleak. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Yeah, is that enough?
Fine, yeah.
Right, okay, brilliant, cool.
Okay, so first of all, one of the shots that we ended up changing from our original storyboard was that in the counsellor scene, when the counsellor is talking to Layla about what's happened over the summer, it was meant to be medium close-ups of Layla and the counsellor individually, like cuts between, but it ended up being an over-the-shoulder shot of the counsellor to Layla, so we could see exactly what was happening in the scene. Secondly, when we filmed the establishing shot of Manchester University, we was going to originally pan from the university to Layla's face so we could see like her emotion and how she was feeling, but we found that didn't really work out because we found it difficult to pan that way, like horizontally, so we ended up doing a cut from the university to Layla's face. It was a lot more clearer what was going on. Then originally we had a two shot of both Liam and Jacob walking out of the club, but as we had issues with the actors and we couldn't really have both of them walking out together, we changed it so that we just saw Jacob. The Layla and Jacob scene was changed because originally we were going to put the flashback right next to that, like the original scene where she was having trouble with Jacob in the club, but we changed that. The running scene where she was running away from him was originally going to be done from behind, so we were going to like film from behind and like track her, but we ended up doing it from the front, so she was running towards the camera. The bird's eye view shot was done. We were worried about that we weren't going to be able to film it, but we did manage to find a location where we were able to do that, and I think that adding that shot and having such a variety of shots in the trailer was really effective. And the phone call scene was originally just meant to be a medium close-up of Coco on the phone to the police, but it ended up moving, so we were tracking her as she was walking towards the camera, and then she stopped and took her phone out to ring the police, so we were able to hear her and see that she was like panicking and like being able to like run towards the camera. We saw that from that.
Right. Okay, so I had to do some filming at my house because it was my camera, and some of the locations that we wanted to use, we wanted to show Layla's house and just inside her bedroom. So what we were going to do is we were going to have a shot of an arm, like a close-up, and then it drops, a bottle drops out the hand to kind of show that she's on like a downward spiral. And then to show like because she's been cutting her wrist, self-harming, so we wanted to already like connote to the viewer that there was something wrong with her, perhaps like a mental illness or something. And then it was going to go to like a medium close-up of Layla just opening her eyes. But when I was at home, because we filmed those scenes, I filmed those scenes after we'd been to Manchester, so I kind of thought, because we kind of developed the character just through filming then, and we developed her illness like post-traumatic stress disorder, like another symptom is like waking up and like having like nightmares about the event that occurred to make them have post-traumatic stress disorder. So at the beginning, we were just going to have like a medium close-up of from a bird's eye shot of Layla in her bed, and she's having like kind of like a panic attack in her sleep, and she's like shouting, and then she just wakes up, and then we were going to have sound bridging onto the counsellor scene, but we haven't done the editing yet, but that's what we want to do, so it's okay.
None of us were kind of in the same friendship groups necessarily at college. We were kind of just put together, but from the beginning we all kind of like, because we all want to go to something to do with media, so we all recognise that in a group dynamic you all need to share the work out and work well as a team. So we all, when we went, because we recognised like some people had like strengths and weaknesses, but we all like helped each other out. So if one of us wasn't as good as editing, we'd like
we either show them or we'd take in turns.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't like one person that dominated the whole group, which I think that would have kind of ruined it for us.
Yeah.
But so when we were like filming, we'd all come up with different ideas, so we improvised like a bit, didn't we?
And we tried out different shots, so if someone thought it'd work better from a different angle, we tried that as well to see